John Wayne was furious with Kirk Douglas on the War Wagon set over political clash. In September 1966, John Wayne was gearing up to film a Western heist movie, but he needed the perfect co-star to portray his character's former adversary, Lomax. Burt Lancaster passed on a role of the War Wagon because he didn't want to collaborate with Duke, while Rod Taylor was initially considered for the part until Kirk Douglas expressed interest. The Spartacus star had previously shared the screen with the Western icon in Cast a Giant Shadow and in harm's way over the past 2 years, so he was already familiar with him. To secure Douglas for the War Wagon, director Burt Kennedy had to sacrifice half his salary. Douglas received $300,000 plus 10% of the gross earnings. Just before the 12-week filming commenced in Durango, Mexico, Wayne was not in the best health, having undergone major cancer surgery in 1960 for that resulted in the removal of his left lung and several ribs. During the flight to Mexico, he struggled to breathe and had to use an oxygen mask throughout the journey. It was at this point that Douglas first realized the frailty of the 59-year-old Duke, but that didn't deter the old bull from expressing his anger towards his co-star. Amid the War Wagon's production, Douglas arrived late on set because he'd been filming a commercial endorsing Edmund G. Brown, a Democrat, for governor of California. This infuriated Wayne, a lifelong conservative, who himself was late the following day because he'd been shooting an ad supporting the Republican candidate, fellow actor and future U.S. President Ronald Reagan. Hollywood icons Kirk Douglas and John Wayne may have had stark political differences, but the pair formed a bond based on mutual respect. Discussing Wayne's polarizing remarks about Native American land with talk show host Dick Cavett in 1971, Douglas steered clear of controversy, revealing, "I don't want to get involved in a conversation about John Wayne. I've made quite a few pictures with John Wayne, and by the way, I've always called him John. Everybody calls him Duke. We have never seen eye to eye on a lot of things." Complimentary about their working relationship, Douglas noted, "We get along well. We never discuss politics. But he's the first guy on the set, the hardest worker I've ever worked with. And I think he's quite a character." Cavett humorously pointed out that Wayne's lofty stature at 6 feet 4 inches might be why Douglas and the Western legend didn't see eye to eye, a gap that Douglas even attempted to bridge by donning large lifts during their first scene together.